Hello, in this video we are going to install a RoboMotion robot into a Windows machine. I hear a lot about Contabo service, so I gave it a try. You can go to their homepage and select the most affordable price here. You can select the terms here. We will select 2016 Windows Server. It's a very straightforward process. It requires you an administrator password that you will use to log into your Windows machine. And after you continue, it asks your credit cards and business or personal informations. And at the end, they send you an email about your registration. And it takes a couple of hours for them to set up your servers. After that, you will receive an email with your Contabo username and password for their control panel. And after that, you can also find the connection information, a VNC, IP, and port here. The control panel is also like this. You can see your machine here. You can manage your machine, and also you can, if you forgot your administrator password, you can reset your password from here. You can use VNC to connect. They have some information here. If you go to this address, I've also shared this in the description section of the video. They provide some information here to connect, but VNC connection is not encrypted, so do not prefer this connection. You can try to connect at first time, but enable the RDP service if it is not enabled, and then try to connect with RDP. So I set up my VPS server. It is now ready to be connected. I will use the credentials to connect with my RDP. And here, this is my first login to this machine here. We are going to install the robot from scratch. The first thing you can do is downloading Chrome, because we use Chrome in all of our automations. So let's search Chrome and download Chrome first. The machine has 8 gigabytes of memory. I can't install. If you can't install, there has to be some settings here that disables the download. It has to be here. Let's disable these. And then restart the Explorer again. Now the download button should work. We can close the Explorer. Maybe we can turn back the security options also. And let's install Chrome. The Chrome has been installed. Now we can download the robot. Download the Windows version. It's an easy installation. Just click next, next, next. The robot is now installed. We can just run it and enter our credentials. Let's select a robot to connect. Now Mark IV is connected. Now we can run an automation here. Now we can run this flow on our machine. If you press play, you will see the Mark IV robot is running on the Windows machine. And when I press run from the host machine, we see that the Chrome is opened on the remote machine and it gets the IP address of that machine. It should get it and show it in a message box. There should be a message box somewhere here. Yes, this shows the IP address. Now this robot is running, but if you close the RDP session, this robot will not run the Chrome headful, so you need to use Chrome headless in your automations. Also, if you reboot this machine, this application won't be running. You have to log in and open this application again and connect your robot. So we want our robot to run forever, and for that we have to set up a Windows service for our robot. So let's disconnect this robot here and close this application. To configure a Windows service, we will follow our RoboMotion guides here. So we need the Nssm service to set up the Windows service. We have to download it into this machine. So let's open the Chrome and go to Nssm homepage. Let's download the latest version. Just copy the binary into a path in your environment. We can use local app data RoboMotion /bin. We can paste the Nssm binary here, and now we can test it with command prompt. Now test the Nssm. Yes, it is installed. Now we can create a Windows service with the Nssm command. You can follow the guide here. We will need to run this command here. You can just copy and paste it. But we need also the robot ID and robot token to be generated from our admin console. Write your workspace address here, robomotion.io, and we have to get our robot's ID. You can do that from admin console. Go to admin console and robots screen here. So this is my robot ID. I will use this ID. Let's copy it and paste it here for the robot ID part. And for the token, we can generate a token for this robot here from this menu. We created the token, copy it, and then paste it here. If you set up the Windows service like this, the robot will run, but you won't see the robot in the flow designer when you press run. But the robot will be connected and can be scheduled to run any flow. If you want to use the robot in the flow designer also, add -i parameter and your email address. This way you can associate a robot with this email. Now let's run this command, and now we can edit this with Nssm RoboMotion. This is the name of the service. If you want to create multiple robot services, you can just give different name to this, RoboMotion 1, RoboMotion 2, or another name for your service, we can edit this. We can set the path for this binary. It should work, but it is better to provide the full path. This is the full path. Startup again, we can just give the full name, full path here, and paste it. This is the exit, this is the connect line. These are the arguments we have provided previously. This all looks good. And also we have to provide the user that is going to run this. We can use the administrator name, or we can use another user in this machine, on this machine. Let's provide the username and password and click edit service. Now it is successfully configured. We can check this in services application. Find the RoboMotion service here and right click and press start. Now you see the service is running. As I said, you can add more services. If you have multiple robots, you can configure and run all your robots in this machine. Now the service seems to be running. Let's check from our host machine in the admin console. When we refresh, we see that the robot is connected. Now let's try running this flow. It should probably fail because we don't have actually a desktop session there, so message box won't show up. We can just delete this and put a debug here. Now let's try to run this again. You see the IP address is here. This is the IP address. This flow ran on the Windows machine, remote machine. The robot is running there. Now let's try to reboot the remote server. Let's connect again. And let's try rebooting the server, restarting the server. Let's wait, and you see that our robot is disconnected. We will wait for the machine to reboot and our Windows service to start. Let's wait a couple of minutes. Now we see that our robot is connected. Now let's try to run this service again. And it ran again. So after the reboot, our robot started, and now it is ready to run another flow, or you can schedule any flow to this robot and it will run there forever. If anything happens, a crash or something else, the service will kick in again and restart the robot. And so this is how you can set up your RoboMotion robot on a Windows machine. Thank you.